Right guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman Studio, and today we've got Adam in the chair. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good, mate.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you, mate. Yeah, can't complain. So what's the plan? What we do?
So, believe it or not, it's been about 4 years since I've been growing up my hair.
Okay.
So, I grew my hair first in COVID. So, about 2019, 2020. The last haircut I actually got was a year ago today. So, that was the 23rd.
Okay.
And I don't know if you could tell, but my hair's actually permed.
Okay.
So my hair's naturally straight.
Okay, nice.
So I was waiting so long just waiting for the right moment to get a cut.
Okay.
So I thought if I could just bear it for a couple of months and wait until that 1 year point, then I could get a cut by
Okay.
online.
Yeah, cool.
I've got a few pictures, if that's all right.
Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, what are you thinking?
So this was my hair before.
Okay.
And then that's how long it was.
Wow.
It's the same length now, just a lot more curly.
Yeah.
And then I got a few pictures here. I think hopefully being myself, it would help you a little bit.
Okay.
So I got a few, sorry, that's just a perm, but I got a few side shots. I don't know what the exact haircut is, but it's like more like a medium curtains hairstyle.
Okay.
And I've always liked just how it just hangs over the back, like just below the ear.
Okay.
So if I just see that fullness.
Let's have a little look. Can you zoom out for me?
Oh, sorry.
Let's have a look. Okay.
And then if you need any reference pictures of someone else, this guy here.
Okay.
So I showed this guy when I got my haircut a couple of years back.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I don't know if you need to know this, but I guess because my hair's permed, it springs up. So even though my hair looks, I guess some people might think it's a bit short.
Yeah.
But I think it just went just below my lips.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you need to know, but I have a double crown on the back of my head.
I don't need to worry about it. That's all right. Crowns don't matter in this particular haircut because you're keeping so much length. If you're going short, then the crown becomes quite a big sort of thing. Or you do like a mod hairstyle or something, then the crown becomes quite a noticeable feature. But when you're like this, as long as you can centre part it, you'll be fine.
Right,
so is that the sort of style you want to go for? Yeah. So a bit top heavier, kind of slightly a rounded shape, bit of length at the back, a bit shorter. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's cool. So did you get this cut when it was permed last? Is that when you got the last haircut?
So how I usually go is I get one haircut or maximum 2 haircuts per year.
Okay.
So I'll get the perm and then I'll get a cut. This time, the only thing they've done, they just cut the ends. So no length, just literally the tiniest bit, maybe about that much.
Yeah.
I think it's just to have like a bigger transformation for today.
Okay, yeah, no worries, yeah, that's cool. All right, son. But if that's the sort of style that you're thinking of, the kind of like the longer front with a little bit of shorter neckline, it should work. It should hopefully work. The picture of the guy on the stairs, who was that?
Just someone like an Instagram model, so like an influencer.
Okay, and that was the kind of shape that you liked, was it? Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Cool. Oh, when did you last get the perm done? Did you say sorry?
It was literally just last week.
Last week. All right. Cool. Perfect. That's great. I just wanted to see how close it was to the root. All right. Cool. Yeah. If that's the sort of look you want to go for, mate. Yeah. Let's do it. So.
Believe it or not, I put in the application that hairstyle. I really want that to be like more for like a pit stop, like a halfway point, because I really want a buzz cut as well at some point.
Okay.
So if it was fine with you, maybe I could like come back in maybe 4, 5, or 6 months time, and then do like a huge transformation then.
Yeah,
but,
we can definitely talk about it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, if that's what you want to kind of go for, like a buzz cut or something.
But,
I mean, yeah.
Weird, like when you said, you didn't know it was perm, like not even my close mates know. I told them that he just recently.
They will now.
Wait, it's permed. Just go on the YouTube comment section. Was like, you lied to me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I think you said in one of your previous videos. I don't know when you recorded it. It might have been months ago. But you did an undercut for this this gentleman.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And then you said, and I could completely agree, but you said that having extremely long hair, it's the exact same feeling as having short hair. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. And almost every day, all I had was just a slick bun.
Which looks almost like a shaved head.
Pretty much, exactly.
If you remove the bun and you look straight, if someone was from a distance and they had it slicked right back and you couldn't see the bun, you'd probably think they had a shaved head. Yeah. So what's that guy's name? Because I want to have a little look at his hair now. What it looks like now, because I feel like your hair is probably going to be a bit bigger than his. But let me have a little look. I just want to see a few more angles before we get into this. What's his name?
So he has an Instagram page and it's called Vasti Nico. I think his hair is it South Asian, where it's like very, very thin.
Yeah. Just that kind of thing.
Straight. Yes.
So is that the thing that you're looking to go for? Something similar to that today?
Yes.
Would you say? Yeah. Okay. So is that the sort of length you want to go to today then? Is it?
Yes.
Something like his, yeah.
If you had any recommendations, I'm all ears. But
I mean, I'll just make it. I'll marry it to your hair texture, essentially. Right. So guys, I'm just putting this into a horseshoe just to separate the top. Going to work this from a sort of shorter layer at the front and work this on this sort of angle down. That's how we're going to do this today. So it looks as though it's like sort of sits just over the ear. The kind of curls create that sort of drop and that texture over the ears, and then obviously it gets a bit longer towards the back as well. So yeah, it's just a very on trend kind of, like a bit like a soft mullet with a 90s kind of interpart, really. I guess that's what you probably look at it in that sense. You know, it is in incredible condition for a perm. You know, honestly, it really is. I'm really shocked. I don't think I would have known this was a perm. I'm being genuinely serious.
I wish I didn't say any.
I wish I had now, because I genuinely don't think I'd have known. Yeah, perfect.
Do you think a wolf cut would look nice?
This is kind of a wolf cut, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty much is, yeah. Right, so you ready for this, yeah?
I'm ready.
Cool, man.
Been waiting all year for this.
Yeah. You really have, mate. So I'm starting with the 2-finger width section. And again, I'm not going as short as the picture because, again, I feel as though Aadam's hair is a very different section. If you drop it here, look, it does kink quite high. So again, if I'd have cut that too short, that would have been way too high to match into the top and the back. So if I just trim the bottom there, them curls will really sit in nicely. So again, it'll be as close to that as possible. It might be a little touch longer potentially, just so we can get the same shape without it becoming like a springy curl and it just looks like a load of hair sort of sitting on the sides. We don't really want that. So do you enjoy having having longer hair? Do you enjoy the grow out phase?
I really do.
Do you? Nice,
this year's just really blown past. So I think that's just the best case scenario, because the more you think about your hair, the longer it feels. Yeah, and I remember that I was watching your videos and I think you said one exact quote that I could completely agree with. You said, I'm having 6 bad hair days and 1 good hair day. Yeah. I think the biggest phase, because I just brought my mate over, and I think, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like every friend group has that one person that's always had the same haircut since their childhood. Yeah. So my mate always has like a mid skin fade or high skin fade. Yeah. And I'm like trying to convince him.
Is that your friend there?
Yeah. Just trying to like convince.
Say hello, mate.
Yeah. So I'm trying to convince him to grow his hair out. I don't mean like this specifically, like down to his shoulders, but at least something different.
In my experience, the guy who I mean, okay, so what's your name, bud? Dean. So Dean, how often do you get a haircut?
We're looking at every 2 weeks.
Okay, he's going to struggle to grow his hair out.
You think?
Because if you're getting it so regularly, the minute he goes past 4 weeks, that's going to feel like he's got no hair. Do you get what I mean?
Believe it or not,
it's a lot of psychology to growing your hair out, as you probably know yourself. You seem quite chill though. Like you seem like you could just let it go and that's fine. Whereas if you're getting it done every 2 weeks, like Dean, that psychological battle after about maybe a month, 2 months, it'll be real, you know? And that's usually when people cave in. I'm not saying you can't do it, Dean. I'm just saying, like, based on my experience, I get clients coming to me after like 4 weeks going, oh God, my hair's so long. Yeah. And they're like, it's not even a 2.
I know the feeling.
So when you get to that point, it's like, if you think that's long, try getting to a year. You know what I mean? Like, here's a challenge for you then, Dean. How about if you come back, if we can get Aadam back on to buzz cut it, why don't you grow it till that point then?
I'll just force
and we'll give you we'll try and do something that's a bit longer for you.
That's a big commitment.
Exactly. See? It is, man. It's a big commitment. But at the same time, right, as well, you've got to be ready to grow it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You can't just grow it for the sake of doing it, because you've got to have like an end goal, a reason, a why.
Exactly, yeah.
You can't just have I'm just going to grow it for the sake of growing it, because it won't work. You know, you've got to do it because you want to do it, not just because it's a bit like giving up something. Like say you want to quit smoking or something like that. Yeah. You have to give up smoking because you want to give up smoking, not because someone's telling you to. Yeah. It's a lot harder when someone's telling you to, you know? Yeah. So I think Dean's just probably got to get himself psyched up and get himself ready to, maybe it's his time, and then he goes, you know what, I'm going to grow it out now.
Yeah, I completely know the feeling, because I think I was lucky because I started growing my hair out during COVID. So it was during the lockdown, and then barbershops was closed. So I think like everyone else, we had no choice. We had to grow our hair out.
Yeah. Dean, did you grow your hair out in COVID, or did you find yourself a barber?
I grew it out to an extent, but I didn't like it.
So did you shave it yourself, or?
No, I just waited, but in the meantime it looked horrific.
That's the longest you've ever gone then, would you say, mate? So. That's fair enough. But the problem is though, doing it then was a lot easier than doing it now. Yeah. Because we've got places to go to now. Yeah. You know? There's about 10 barbershops per high street. So you know, if you're really desperate, you've got someone you can go and get a haircut from. In lockdown, it you know, obviously there's a few places that were still cutting, there's a few people that were still cutting, which is, you know, whatever they want to do. But obviously a lot of us shut down, you know, so.
Yeah, gone the days I used to get a skin fade every 2 weeks.
Did you? Yeah.
Actually,
Wow.
I got a question for Dean as well. Like, was it crazy because we first last saw each other? I remember I got a skin taper, but my hair was probably there, and then we didn't see each other for like a year, and my hair was probably like almost down to my shoulders. Was that crazy? Like,
Yeah, I didn't expect to see that.
I think it's like April 2021. It was that day when they said you can go to parks again.
Wow. Yeah.
Would you ever consider growing out your hair again?
No.
No.
Doesn't work for me, mate, or my lifestyle. You know, I think the thing is, a haircut's got to really match your lifestyle. I know I've said that 100 times over, but it's very important because, like, my day-to-day living is quite busy. Got a lot going on. So for me to have that commitment to days where I've got to put my treatment on, days where I've got to, you know, days where I can't wash it, things like that, it just doesn't really work for me because I was having, like I said, you know, I was having so many bad hair days.
Yeah.
I just didn't enjoy it. When I got to that point, I was just like, you know what, I've done it now. The end goal's changed. I'm not enjoying it. It's not really working for me.
Yeah.
Like, as much as people liked it and I got a lot of good compliments and stuff, it's sometimes not about what other people kind of think, is it? It's like what works for you in the moment. And short hair just works for me more so than longer hair. You know, I just find it better for me, for my lifestyle, for everything. You know what I mean? So maybe I'll do it, you know, when my kids are older and I've got a little bit more free time. You know, I think maybe then, because my mornings are so hectic with like, especially when I'm with the kids, it's very hectic. You know what I mean? You got to get the kids ready before you get ready and stuff like that. I just don't really have the time. And I like the fact that I don't have to make a lot of effort with this haircut. I can just put a bit of clay in or a bit of paste. I can choose multiple different products. You know, I'm not limited to one. It's just nice to have that, I think.
Is your hair like very flexible? Like, do you not need to use a blow dryer? Could you just style it without heat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
like
great.
like this morning. I mean, my hair is very overgrown right now, right?
Yeah.
I do need a haircut. So I'm kind of like probably about, I think my last haircut was probably about 8 weeks ago, something like that. So I do need a cut. But when I got in today, I mean, Liam can be my witness here. I just walked in, didn't I? It was wet. Well, it wasn't wet. It was just, I hadn't washed it this morning because I'd put a treatment on the day before. So I rinsed it off yesterday morning with cold water, and then didn't put anything else on today. Got here and then put a bit of paste through it, and that was it.
Oh, okay.
So that's how low maintenance I am with my hair, you know, even at this length. So I don't put that much effort in because I don't feel like I need to. I feel like it's cut well. It's got the right texture, and my hair density's changed as well the older I've got. So, you know, when I was probably in my mid to late 20s, early to probably my whole 20s, my hair was a lot thicker, a lot straighter. Whereas now it's a lot less dense. Whereas now it's a lot softer. It moves about a lot more. Like I can literally just like do that to my hair, and it kind of has a little bit of bending if I scrunch it up. Where that would just either fall directly flat or just spike right out.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Where now it's got a little bit of movement in it.
That's what I noticed just before I grew my hair out. And I think another reason why I grew it out was because I wanted to see my scalp less. But by the time I started growing it out, I was using, it went from heavy hold clays with beeswax, and then it went to like more cream clays with medium hold.
Oh, okay.
And I guess now I just use creams really.
Yeah.
Like, I think, you know the saying when you don't know yourself, no one knows yourself more than you.
Yeah.
I probably missaid that. But I guess for other people, let's say my mate, when I said to him that I feel like I was going through some hair loss, because when you notice the change, it affects you so much, your confidence.
Yeah, definitely.
But I guess for other people, they're like, you're not losing your hair.
Yeah, it's individual, isn't it? You know, hair loss is very individual. So like if you know, when we get people in talking about hair loss, you can only advise so much for that person. Not everyone has the same type of hair loss, so it's very hard to advise. Like, you know, if you see a picture of someone with hair loss, it's hard to say, oh yeah, mine will do that or yours does this. We don't know. It's all very different. So I actually didn't lose confidence with my hair, with losing hair.
Yeah.
I actually gained confidence with my hair loss because I can do a lot more with my hair now than I ever was able to do. So in a weird way, I've gone like the opposite in how I feel about my hair. I'm actually happy that I've lost
how I feel
hair.
now.
Do you know what I mean?
I
weird,
understand,
isn't it?
because sorry, I was going to say that I understand where you're coming from, because at first I was over obsessive. I was taking pictures every hour thinking something would change.
Oh, okay,
but
yeah.
I always wanted like certain hairstyles. I've always wanted a slick back, but
okay.
because my hair was always so thick, it was so poofy, and I always wanted like this haircut, a laid back curtains hairstyle esque, and now I can do that because my hair is not as poofy, not as thick as it used to be.
Yeah, so, totally, yeah, definitely. When you do get that little bit of less density, it actually makes my hairstyle better. So yeah, weird how that's the case. I've already probably just realised that after having this conversation with you, to be honest, that I was like more confident with the hair loss. But because hair loss doesn't always come to hairlines, I think that's where people kind of get a bit confused with hair loss. It's not always about like the crown or your temples or your hairline.
Just like
it can just be density as well, yeah.
Is it bad to shave off your crown? Are you supposed to keep length on it, or does it just vary by style?
Varies, mate, varies. I always think you should keep length in the crown, because it's the thing that you've got to kind of like, it dictates where the hair falls properly and things like that. And also it dictates the back of the head as well, the shape of the back of your head. So yeah, I mean, in most cases, I'd say yes, you should leave the crown on. In some cases, you don't have to, because obviously the style dictates that you have a short crown or whatever. But I don't know. It depends on what you're going for, really. To be honest, like when you're saying at the start, like, I've got a double crown. In your style, it makes no difference.
Oh, okay.
We're not really utilising the crown that much in this style. The crown isn't going to make the slightest bit of difference for yours. The only thing is, obviously, if you're going short, then that's when we probably look at the crown and be like, okay, cool, where's the crown sitting? How strong is a double crown? Do we need to pay attention to it, or can we just kind of crack on and leave it to do its own thing? I think that's when you'd start looking at it. I'm going to work into the top now. So that's the shape on the back and sides done. And then obviously when it comes to styling, that's when it's going to really, really shine and come out. So the main thing we'll do now is cut in that top heavier layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work horizontally through the sides and pull this down to the sides to maintain that length on the top. Down like that, and cut it to that guide under there. So that way we've got that top heaviness. Do there like that. Pull it right down. There we go. So I'm doing 4 sections on either side. So this one now finishes up just before the centre. I'm not going to put the centre part in this because I want this to fall a bit loosely. I don't want this to be like a direct, solid centre part. Last section now.
Would you say this is a more of a unique hairstyle that someone's asked for, or do you get it quite often?
I get this quite often, yeah. This is quite a popular hairstyle, to be fair, yeah. It's a bit of a mixture, it's like a hybrid between a couple of hairstyles. A bit of a soft mullet, a bit of a wolf cut with a bit of a centre part in. So it's a bit of a hybrid, which, I've said this a few times to people, like, some hybrid haircuts don't work, others do, Yeah. This is definitely one that does. It's definitely a hybrid haircut that works. If some people try and put a few haircuts together and it doesn't really look right, in my opinion. But this definitely does work for sure. Very popular. That's good, man. I think you've got to pull it off as well. You've got to have the confidence to pull it off too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you've got that. I think you'll be able to do that.
Do you think fades are still extremely popular, or are they just declining now?
Geographically, yes. Trend-wise, no.
Okay.
I think they're really popular in certain parts of the country, so they probably seem trendy.
Yeah.
But I think on a sort of like a wider level, probably not. I mean, based on the amount of clients I get with variations, I wouldn't say they are as popular. Whereas if you ask a guy who works, say, in a shop in the Midlands, for example, he's probably getting fades every day. So I think it just depends where you're based. I wouldn't say I don't get a lot of them. Anymore. I used to get them all the time, but I don't get a lot anymore.
Was it a side part? We saw one of your videos last night. And, It's the one that you said that you made a tally about, was it 28 times or?
Oh no, that's the side part. Like that's the sweep over, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you mean now. Yeah. So yeah, that was it. That was more about like the sort of same haircut though. It was like that kind of like high up comb over is like the kind of like the style that I get from pretty much every new client who comes in the chair.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I don't know if it's like just generically cut in. I don't know whether they ask for it. I'm not too sure. That's the go-to sort of haircut that a lot of guys come into me with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To kind of, I don't know, I don't know why it is, but it just seems to be. It's a haircut that works for a lot of people. The only downside is it doesn't work when you want something new, especially for the amount of time that people leave to grow it out. So if you're growing it out for like 3 months, it's fine. If you're growing it out for a month, it doesn't work. Do you know what I mean? Is someone comes in and goes, oh, I want something brand new, but then they've had the kind of, you know, almost half undercut, half not hairstyle cutting, because you've got to connect it in first before you can do anything.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, you know, before you can balance a hairstyle out or create something new, that's what you have to do, or future-proof it. You know what I mean? Cut it into a nice uniform shape, grow it a bit more, then come in. That's generally what I tend to do to a lot of guys who come in with that haircut.
That's another reason why when your first question you said, why do I always leave my hair so long? It's just to give barbers or the stylist just enough room for flexibility.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's great. Yeah, it's a great idea.
When you know, like when you get a haircut, then you know it's not great, and then you're just like, yeah, it's great. By the end, don't worry, you're giving me a great haircut. I'm not. I'm not like.
I'll ask you again. You sure? You definitely
I'm
sure?
not hinting or anything.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's it's the best thing you can do is just give us a little bit more length. You know, that's all it is. But I don't know. I think it's hard though. If you take Dean for example, Dean's long as a month, where our long is a year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So again, it's the psychological battle with the person. What they deem as long to what they deem as short.
Yeah.
I think that's what you've got to kind of work with. You know what I mean? Like if you left your hair for a month, Dean, and you were like, oh, it's so long. I'd get it because I've had short hair like you. But on a grand scheme of it, we've gone to a medium length haircut from that. That's long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it just depends on what your long is, right? It's like someone's mess is another man's, what is it? One man's mess is another man's, I can't remember what they call it, but it's something along the lines that, you know, what you perceive as something doesn't always mean that that's what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to dry some clay into this because I want to give you a lot of separation, okay?
Yeah.
What you get from this, when you dry it into damp hair, it creates like a slight gloss to the hair. So like them pictures you've showed me,
Yeah.
it's going to be that separated.
Oh, okay.
All right?
It'd be nice to have a shower tonight or tomorrow, because that's the worst part of having super long hair.
Yeah, I can imagine. You probably dread it, don't you?
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to diffuse this very lightly as well. Okay. Now, if you can lean over the chair for me like this, if you don't mind.
Is that right?
And then take your head over. There we go. Flick it back for me if you don't mind. So flick your hair back for me. Great. Part and split it a little bit as well, so you've got that very natural finish. Now, a good little tip for this one as well, to keep the hold and keep the shape, right? Is you get a bit of hairspray onto your hands, like that, and you work it through your hair. And that will create like another added layer of hold, because it'll dry in and stay there, right? Sits into the sides, sits into the back as well. And then you end up with the same kind of shape sitting down as well, right? And last but not least, while it's just sitting like this, you take a little tiny section like that, just as it's dried off a little touch. And I'll cut this straight. How's that looking for you, man?
It looks sick.
Looks good, doesn't it, man?
Yeah.
Looks as close to what that picture is as I possibly can get it, all right? The main thing I wanted to try and get from this today was that shape of it being kind of heavy here.
Yeah.
And then it hugging through the back there. That was the main thing. So like what he's got, but again, his hair's a little bit finer than yours, so you get a bit more. You can probably go a bit shorter with yours. I wouldn't do too much shorter, because you'll lose a little bit of the perm as well. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing I'd say. So I'll show you what this looks like now. If you hold the mirror for me, okay?
Yep.
I'll spin you around that way. Can you see yourself?
Yeah.
And then the back layer, like the wolf cut, but with the length that sits just around the corner.
So sick.
Looks cool, doesn't it? The curls don't half add to it though. They really do. If you with that perm, it makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
But like kind of the fullness to here, which creates that bolder kind of centre part, and then it just drops down to that looser sort of wolf cutty-esque.
I love it. You can actually see my face for the first
I know,
time.
it looks good, man, doesn't it? It looks good. So yeah, that's it, mate. That's it.
I love it.
Yeah, it looks
Thank you
good, man.
so
You're
much.
welcome, mate. And when you said before, if you pull this down as well, to your lip and to your nose, like you were saying, because that's look how much it shrinks up, like you said. So you were bang on about the length that you needed to be. So yeah, that's it, man. Happy?
That's great. Thank you
Thanks,
so
Adam,
much.
mate. Lovely to meet you, mate. That was a pleasure.
to meet you.
Thanks very much, man.